Hi everyone, I'm Bethany. I'm the social media manager here at Australian Ethical. And today I'm joined by Allyson, who is our Chief Customer Officer. Welcome, Allyson. So we've been chatting with different people from around the business to talk through the different ways COVID-19 has impacted the business, how it's impacted your investments and access to early super, and how we're responding as a business. So today we're speaking with Allyson, who truly is a customer advocate in the business. And we want to share with you more on how we're supporting customers and how we plan to build back better through ethical investing. So Allyson, what support is available to customers who may require it during these times?
Well, it's been a tough time for many people, and we've been really mindful of how we can support our customers through this crisis. There have been a number of legislative changes in super, including the government announcing that members can get early access to their super if they're experiencing financial hardship. So we've been concentrating on making sure our customers have all the information they need to make the right choice for them and to reassure them about what's happening. So we've delivered way more communications than we would normally do. We've been sending a lot of emails to our members and investors. We've created a few videos like this one, and we'll hopefully do more. We've been really active on our social media channels, as you would know, Beth, because you're managing our community there. We've created a separate section on our website for people to go to find out more about what's happening and performance, for example, of the funds. And it's all to help give our customers some insight into what's happening in the market, how their investments are going, how to help people navigate what's going on and what it means for them. And we're certainly always here to help answer questions through our customer services team. So they've been really busy over the past few weeks taking calls and responding to emails from our investors and members. And another really important point to make about how we're supporting our super members is that we actually delivered a fee reduction for super and pension accounts in early April. So as our business has grown, we've been able to pass on benefits like that to our members, and it really couldn't have come at a better time.
Everything has changed so quickly, and now we're all starting to slowly think about what it looks like emerging on the other side. And Allyson, do you have any thoughts on what the sort of new normal might look like?
Yeah, it's a good question, and one we're really grappling with, this idea of a new normal. It's really hard to get your head around when you're still dealing with immediate issues like health and safety and well-being and job security and your kids' education and like what's for dinner. So, I mean, all of that stuff's happening. And the rate of change has been crazy. And obviously, the impact of this pandemic has been devastating. People staying from home, to help flatten the curve, it's just saved lives. And really at the end of all of that, what we're seeing is Mother Nature is thanking us for it. So we've seen air pollution, it's dropped around the world as carbon emissions have decreased and nature has bounced back. I think that we can all agree that we need to build back better as we come out of this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Can you elaborate a little bit more on what it means to build back better and how we can all be part of that solution?
Yeah, building back better is really about rebuilding our society to be more resilient in the face of a crisis, whether that's a health crisis like the one we're experiencing, it's also a financial crisis like this one, or really indeed climate change. That's a crisis. It's easy to forget that just a few short months ago, Australia was on fire, and at last we started to see real demand for climate action. And we saw encouraging conversations about the climate crisis following that summer bushfire devastation. And finally, we saw some momentum to make some legislative change. Excuse me. But obviously, all that changed as we shifted to battle another very real crisis. So while the climate crisis still looms as one of our most daunting challenges, COVID-19 has changed everything. And so at first I thought, this pandemic would detract from the climate emergency. But now I realise that actually Australian Ethical's purpose to invest for a better world takes on really even greater urgency with, the relentless worrying headlines and the unprecedented disruption to our day-to-day lives. This is a time now for all of us to rethink our personal values and priorities and what we want from the future. Because the pandemic has highlighted the value of sustainability, resilience, and how interconnected we all are. And it's also made clear the fragility of the planet and the toll of humanity's impact. And so when I think about the future, nothing is certain, but I really believe that investing to protect our planet has become even more urgent if we're to leave a better world for our children.
Yeah, so well said. And how can ethical investing help this idea of building back better?
Well, Australian Ethical has an important role to help build a greener and cleaner future. We already invest in healthcare, technology, and renewables. So as we rebuild together from this crisis, ethical investing can help to accelerate the transition to a low carbon economy. And I mean, there's research that says renewables can provide up to 60,000 new jobs by 2030. So that's a huge opportunity. And as a super investment fund, we're invested in renewables. You can see right there the potential for growth where everyone wins.
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity, and you can see how much of a difference ethical investing can really make.
Absolutely. And we know that this is something that we've been doing for over 30 years. But I think this crisis and the recent bushfire crisis has really highlighted just how much our money matters.
We also know that our customers really care about action on climate change.
They really do, yes, they do. Ethical investing has a huge opportunity for meaningful climate action. Imagine if the trillions of dollars invested in super in Australia was shifted to support sustainable industries. The potential for transformative climate action is enormous. We did a research survey of over 1,000 Australians back in February and found that while the majority of people do things in their daily life to reduce their environmental impact because climate change is so important to them, the vast majority weren't aware of where their money was invested, and many hadn't actually heard of ethical investing. And that's why it's so important for us to help people become more aware of what they're investing in and how important it is for their money to align with their values, and how that can complement other actions that they're taking every day to live in a more sustainable way. So the opportunity to shift money from funds that fund fossil fuel companies into investments that fund renewables is huge if we can just help people become more aware of the impact of their choice and their money. From a financial perspective, it's hard to argue against ethical investing when you see our returns. Our funds perform really well. So we really want more people to understand that if collectively we invest our money ethically, we can restrict the capital available to unsustainable businesses like coal mining and fossil fuel production, and make it more difficult for these types of companies to expand. And then this collective push can help drive demand for those unsustainable businesses to switch things up and just do better.
Thank you so much, Allyson, for joining us. It's been so inspiring and hopeful to hear about the impact we can make with our money.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you for having me.
Thanks everyone for watching.